Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be diving into all things nail stamping. I'm going to show you some troubleshooting and tips and tricks along the way. It's going to be a really fun set because we're going to be doing a lot of different techniques when it comes to nail stamping. We're also diving into a brand new month. This is the Maniology Mani and Me box, and this is the theme. I'm absolutely blown away by the theme. The themes for these boxes, we're on our third one now, and they just keep getting better and better. So we have a little inspiration card, and I really like this card because then on the back it also gives you a little bit of helpful tips along the way for your stamping journey. And then we have the card that tells you everything that's included in the box, and it also gives you a breakdown of the inspiration and why they chose the items in this box. This month's theme is Sunrise over Waikiki, and it's capturing the vintage charm of the Hawaiian sunsets. I love that so much. We're going to be pulling in some fun corals. So you can see the first thing in there was that really fun snail sticker, and then we have two exclusive stamping plates that are in this box. So you always get two that you can only get with this exclusive box, but stay tuned. I'm going to share with you how you can obtain these really awesome Hawaiian tropical stamping plates. And then the bonus item this month, normally you do not get a jelly stamper in the kit. They normally throw that in for your first time only, but this month they threw one in, and we're going to take a look at that in just a moment. The other thing that I love about this box is that you get early access to two brand new stamping color polishes, which I think is so fun. And these colors are definitely going to get you ready for that sizzling summer aspect. And it's also going to be great for that tropical sunrise set that we're going to be incorporating today. So the first color, we have this beautiful seafoam green. I really like this one because it's not too light, and it's like the perfect pop of brightness. And I feel like this is going to go perfect and just complement this coral color so much. And this one is absolutely beautiful. It's metallic. We have this gorgeous pearl reflex in here. I really like it has a little bit of a yellow flashback in there. And then the jelly stamper. So I was very curious to see what this one was going to look like, because when they add the jelly stampers and they're themed, you know they're going to be good. So we have this beautiful tropical pattern, and we are pulling in. See how the color scheme is just tied all together? We're still pulling in that beautiful just sea foam green and those beautiful coral colors, and everything is tropical and just tied together. So it's just a really overall fun created box that you just arrives at your door, and then you have everything you need to create the perfect fun set. If you're really into nail art and you want that just like perfect surprise every month, this is going to be a great box for you. The best part about this is that you can sign up for monthly, or you can just sign up for a one-time box. So you have a couple different options, and what we're going to do today is we're going to go ahead and recreate the inspiration card that was in the box. We've done this now for the third time, and I figured let's just keep this going. So we're going to pick out the colors first. For our base colors, we're going to use gels from Sundara Nails. I figured these were the closest that we could get to the actual inspiration picture, and we're just going to work our way through the entire nails. And then the thumbnail, we're just going to do a free-for-all. We're just going to pick a design, and then that'll be like our freestyle nail. So here's the first base color, and this right here, it is everything. It's a seashell finish, so we're going to have that pearl coming through. And I thought that would be a really beautiful, just like pop of dimension on the nail, because it's giving us almost like an effortless chrome effect over that stamping. I just felt like that would be a really cool transition with some of the solid colors that we're going to be pulling into today. So we're going to go ahead and cure that first coat for 30 seconds. And now we're going to go in with a second coat, which is completely optional. You could also use this for pearl swirls. So if you wanted to do a little swirl accent on this nail, you could definitely go in during that second coat and complete that as well. So that's what it looks like with two coats. We're going to cure. I'm going to do the rest of the three nails, and then we're going to do two yellow nails. This is a beautiful, just soft pastel yellow. I really like this one because it doesn't have like that harsh chalkiness that you get sometimes when you're playing with pastel yellows, and yellows can be really difficult and hard to work with. But this one is absolutely perfect, and I've used this in a video before, so you've probably seen this color on my channel a lot. It's just the perfect yellow. So we're just going to finish up that first coat, and then that's all I needed. I only did one coat of that yellow, so we have our base colors done. Now it's time to get into the stamping. So I love to use the Macart transfer foil glue when I'm doing a very intricate or all over stamping. just because I want to ensure that I have the most like extreme tacky layer. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna apply that to the nails as we go. And while that's curing for a full 60 seconds, we're gonna start with our first image. So we're gonna start off pretty simple here. We're just gonna do an all over fun pattern in that beautiful green color that was included in the box. And we're gonna put this on the first nail. This is that seafoam swell color. And we're just gonna go ahead and just line it up exactly where I want it, and then we're going to press down, and then this one is going to be super easy. So another reason why I like to use that transfer foil glue is that I don't have to rush. I could go ahead and pick up that image, and once that image is on the stamper pad, I don't have to worry about rushing to get that image right on the nail and worrying about that polish drying. I can just take my time, because once you apply that transfer foil glue and cure it, you're going to get a sticky layer, and then you're good to go. So that image on the stamper is just going to apply so nicely to the nail. Now we have a little bit of extra stamping image hanging over the free edge of the nail, and you can do a couple things. You could just go ahead and gently peel it off, or you can go in and just file it off like you saw there. If you are going in with a file, just make sure you remove your jelly stamper away from your work area so you do not get any of that filing dust onto your jelly stamper, because that will be hard to move. And then to seal it in right away for that image, we're going to go in with a layer of gel base and then cure that nail for 30 seconds. And we're just going to keep moving along till we complete all the nails on the postcard. And then to clean up the stamper, I'm going in with that same 3M medical tape that I use for my color blocking. I've been really liking it for my nail stamping, so I'm just going to use that to clear off that stamper. And then to clean up the stamping palette before we move on, I'm going to go in with that Maniology pineapple cotton ball grabber, which is absolutely game changer. And then here's what that first nail looks like, and we're going to just continue. We're going to do another one now. And this one right here, this one was my first kind of like nail challenge when it came to this set today. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick up the image, and then this is when I was like, I don't really like how I picked up the image. I cut some of it off. So I'm just going to go ahead and wipe off the image, and we're going to start over. And if you don't pick up the perfect image the first go around, just simply wipe it off with a little bit of acetone and just start over, and then check it out. Now we have the perfect image. And then to clean up the image to make sure we're not getting any of that extra stamping that we picked up, I'm just going to go in with that tape and just clean up the stamper, and now we are good to go. All right, so for this one, I want to go ahead and remove the flowers, because in the inspiration picture, it had the flowers a different color. So I'm using a dotting tool, and it even gave me tips and tricks on how to do this on the back of the inspiration card, but I could not for the life of me get these flower pieces off with the dotting tool. So you can see here, I'm struggling, and I don't want to push too hard because I do not want to puncture this beautiful stamper that we just got. So now I'm trying a silicone tool to kind of see if I can get that flower off. I still am struggling to get the flower off. So then I'm like, okay, we're going to pivot, because I still want to create that inspiration picture, and I want the different color flowers. So I was like, okay, we're gonna go ahead, and now I'm just bunching up that medical tape, that same 3M medical tape. I'm bunching it up, and we are just gonna go ahead and just carefully just dab onto those flowers. And then that was the easiest way for me personally to pick up these flowers. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and just continue working with the tape ever so carefully. I'm just bunching it up and pinching the tape together, because I do not want to remove any of this really fun line and nail art look. And this was actually kind of satisfying to do with the tape. So here's what it looks like after I did the tape. I did the rest off camera because it did take me a little bit. We're going to go back in with that transfer foil glue, apply it to the entire nail, cure for 60 seconds. Now this one in particular with the Marquardt transfer foil glue, the directions say to cure for 60 seconds. If you are using a different transfer foil glue, make sure you follow those directions on the package, because some have to cure for 90 seconds, some are 30. So now that I have that image exactly where I want it on the nail, we have this really fun line work, and I really like this pop of green over the yellow. So we have a little bit of extra of that stamping hanging off, and we're just going to go ahead, tap everything down, and then clean it up right away. And then we're going to go in with those flowers. So that was just how it worked for me to remove those flowers. If you have success with the dotting tool, more power to you. I don't know if it just dried really quickly. I also did have a fan going, so that might have been my problem why I couldn't get the flower right off that stamper. But the tape did take a little bit, just because I wanted to make sure I wasn't bumping any of those lines. But overall, the tape worked wonders. So now we're going to go in with that sunset glow color. I am going to apply a generous amount of this color on the stamping palette. I feel like when I'm working with the pearl ones, they're a little bit more of on the sheer side, which is normal when you're working with a pearl finish like this, that I want to make sure I have enough stamping polish on there. And then we're going to go in with the tape again and do the exact same thing. But this time, instead of removing the flowers, we're going to go ahead and remove those lines. And those lines came off in the perfect line. I'm just going to press them down as I go. And then I'm just going to take my time and remove all those lines. And then the hardest thing for me to do right here, I'm holding my breath and I'm trying to line these flowers up right in the middle of that pattern so we can keep the pattern just like how it was. So I'm just right here, just take your time, take a deep breath. For me, I'm holding my breath right here, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and press down. And then once we press down, this is when I can just finally like, okay, we did it, we got it. This was really fun to do. I really like how this looks, pulling in two different stamping creations. And it's this yellow base is absolutely everything with these colors. Is just complement and just make it pop so much. But this was really fun to do, and I really like the end result. I really want to dive into more of this method by using a full design and then removing some of it and doing a different color. We're going to go ahead and seal in that image right away with a layer of gel base, cure that for 30 seconds. Now, if you do not want to use a gel product, you definitely do not have to. You could just go in with a regular top coat that is just your traditional nail polish. And you also do not need to use that transfer foil glue if you do not want to, especially if you have a gel allergy. Maniology offers a sticky base that you do not need to cure, and it's not a gel formula. So if you just want to keep using your regular nail polishes and stamp, you definitely can do that as well. All right, so now we're going to get into my favorite part. We're going to get into reverse stamping, which is absolutely so fun to do. If you like coloring or coloring by numbers, this is going to be reverse stamping is going to be for you. So we're just going to go ahead and clean up that extra stamping, and then once that stamper is cleaned up, we're going to stick with the greens and the yellows to fill in the tropical image. So we're going to go in with a greenhouse. We're also going to go in with a brighter yellow, and then I'm going to pull in a lighter yellow, and then we're going to pull in a lighter green as well. That apple crisp is from last month's box. I absolutely love that color. And then we're going to take a dotting tool. I prefer to use the dotting tool that has like the most tiniest dot on there. I feel like that just works best when it comes to the reverse stamping. And then all you do now is just go ahead and just tap that color right on to the flowers. So I'm focusing on the flowers. That's what we're using the yellow for. And I'm just going to go ahead and just take my time and then fill in all those flower areas. I am going to alternate between the darker yellow and the lighter yellow for the flowers. And then when we get to the leaves, I am going to alternate between the darker green and then the more brighter pops of green, just to add a little bit of dimension when it comes to the reverse stamping. The best part about this when you are doing reverse stamping and you are using that transfer foil glue is that you can just really take your time, fill this in, and you don't have to worry about that image not transferring over. Also, reverse stamping allows you to do a lot of different things. You can pull in so many different colors, and it gives you a really fun, effortless nail art look. I mean, it is a little tedious, I will say, to add some of the, just to fill in some of the image, but overall, I really enjoy the reverse stamping process. So for me, it's kind of like a little bit of a therapeutic moment for me. I do really like this aspect of stamping. Reverse stamping is really fun. It's also a trust the process kind of moment. So when you're looking at the stamper right here, it looks like we just have blobs everywhere on top of the stamping image, but when you flip it around, the image just comes together seamlessly. So it definitely is more of a trust the process kind of moment. But once you get the hang of reverse stamping, it's really rewarding and it gives you really effortless nail art. And it's just so fun because you can pull in so many different colors, you can add so many different colors. Options are endless when it comes to nail stamping. All right, now that we have that image completely covered, I'm going to go in with the transfer foil glue again and cure that for 60 seconds. I like to apply my transfer foil glue as I go. I just feel like if I went ahead and applied the transfer foil glue to all 5 of the nails, I feel like as they sit, they get less sticky. That's just what happens to me. I don't know if that's something normal, but I notice I get the best stickiness if I just work as I go. And then we're just going to go in with that file again and just clean everything up. And then we have one more element to add to this nail. We need to add that aloha. So we're gonna go in with a lighter yellow, and then I felt like the lighter yellow would be the best for this and the closest to that inspiration card. Now, if you missed signing up for the Manny and Me box, you still can definitely sign up, or you can purchase this box on its own. So it is available on the website as of today, Sunday, July 13th. I just checked and it's still an option. But if you do enroll and you miss this box, you do get early access to certain stamping palettes, and you also get a code that you can purchase past Manny and Me box stamping palettes, because you cannot buy the stamping palette on its own on the website unless you are a Manny and Me member. All right, so here's what the inspiration looks like. I wasn't liking the colors that we did, so I went ahead and redid the stamping, the reverse stamping. So this time, instead of going in with the lighter color to pick up the image, I went in with the darker color, and then I filled everything in with the lighter color. It gave it more depth, it gave it more detail. Either way still looks good. I just feel like the original way looked a little bit washed out. This one definitely looks more defined, crisp, and you can definitely see the details. So that's the only thing I did. I did the reverse stamping the same method. I just picked and choose my color placement a little bit different, and that's okay. When you are doing your nails at home, if something doesn't turn out right, you can always start over. Now for the pinky nail, we are pulling in a image, but we're adding 3 nail stamping colors. So the first 2 images were this beautiful dark green. So I'm just going to go ahead and clean up the 2 other images, and now we're good to go. For the first image, we're just going to go ahead and get it on the nail as straight as possible here, press down, and then we're going to go ahead and pick up the hibiscus flower. So originally I went in with the sunset glow color, but then I noticed it wasn't as vibrant or as dark as I wanted it to. So then I picked, we're still staying in like that pearl shimmer kind of family. We went in with a candy cane color, which is just a little bit of a brighter red, and I just felt like that really just popped over that yellow color, and it just, you can really see it stand out. And then we're going to go ahead and use that beautiful seafoam swell color for that leaf, and check it out. We have a really fun design that was really easy to do by incorporating those 3 colors. See, it's pretty close. That dark green just really makes all the other colors absolutely pop. And then for our thumbnail, we're going to do our freestyle nail. We're going to pull in that beautiful green again, because I really like what this green looks like over this coral color. I just feel like that green, it really just pops, and I really wanted to add some more of this green and just the palm tree. Now I have a little area right here that doesn't have enough image on it, so I had a little extra image on the stamper. I'm just going to stamp it right there, and now this nail is absolutely complete. We're just going to clean it up again with the file, and then we're going to seal everything in with a layer of gel base today. Now I did debate, because when I'm stamping, I do like how everything looks with a matte finish. So I was debating if I was going to do a matte finish today, but I decided we're going to keep it glossy, because we use that really fun pearl polish as our base color, and I wanted that to shine through. So here's our finished set. This is what it looks like on the stand. I absolutely love this one so much, and I've been saying that every month. Every month is just like, I feel like Maniology is just getting better and better. They're nailing these themes out of the park, and I cannot wait to see what they have in store for us for next month heading into August. But the color scheme, the absolutely vintage take on the Hawaiian sunset and the island is absolutely beautiful. I really like this. If you didn't know, Maniology is actually located in Hawaii, so this was like the perfect set for them. I bet they had so much fun creating the design and just picking out all those really fun stamping images. But overall, I just love how this turned out. All right, so everything that we use in today's video can be found in that description box below. I hope you enjoyed today's simple nail art and got some tips and tricks along the way, and I'll see you all in the next one.